I promise you there's a reason behind what I'm doing here, and that reason is called desire paths.
I'm Leni, an ecologist and in my early 30s. In the beginning of the year, I made my two biggest dreams come true. I adopted a rescue puppy and bought a piece of land, including a derelict cottage, which I want to turn into a beautiful homestead for us and a safe haven for wildlife. This is our story.
I promise you there's a reason behind what I'm doing here, and that reason is called desire paths. If you don't know what desire paths are, there are unplanned paths that just emerge through usage by animals and humans when they move through a landscape. I also have these desire paths here on my property, and I can tell you they are not straight lines that intersect at 90-degree angles like what my center garden is made up. So I decided to use these desire paths and make beds that fit the form and just let me walk through my garden in a more natural way on slightly curved paths and head into little crossways that feel a lot more natural. So the result is these three a bit weirdly shaped beds that I want to try out to build and use and see how they fit into my gardening style. They are not what you typically find in a vegetable garden. I added some little stepping stones so that I could step into the bed and would be able to reach everything. This definitely is a trial, and I hope that it is a permanent solution that I am happy with how I feel walking through my garden. But one of my visions for this property is to turn it into a whimsical little place, and I think these beds that let you travel in a smooth, natural way around the garden are one key element. If they don't work out at all, it is quite easy to change them, take out the stones, and just dig over some other part that might have been a path and rearrange the beds. So there's no real harm in trying to do this, and if this goes as I planned, I think it can bring a lot of positive things into the garden. Bed number 1 of the 3 new ones is finished, and I managed to be faster than the sun so that I could still work in the shade over here. Now I just need to get some grass to mulch this bed to hopefully keep a bit of the water inside the soil. I have fled the garden because the sun is working its way around and there is no real shade that I can work in any more and it's a really hot day, but the shade has moved here, which is where I am getting the bricks from for my garden beds. This wall behind me, I am slowly but surely taking it down. I do want to have a greenhouse in that position, but I have to say I really don't like the way that this brick wall looks. When I build the greenhouse, who knows in how many years, and if I would like have the bottom half or bottom part bricked, I would rather use other bricks that match the house better. So I'm slowly but surely taking this wall down, cleaning the bricks so that I can use them in the garden, and now since the shade is here, this is the perfect excuse to just keep on going with that. I broke one of my favorite gardening tools like a third through bed number 2. It's not supposed to be like that. This is more like it. I will have to get a new one when I go into town the next time, and for now hope that I can somehow manage without this, or without this side, because I do have quite a few young plants that I want to get into the ground. It's already past 8 p.m. and all I have left is this. I think it's about a square meter. I really want to get this done today, and I hope I can before I get too tired and everything just starts not working anymore. I have to say it's going a lot better than I thought with only half of my tool, but ow. The soil is so dry and sandy that it's pretty easy to separate the soil from the grass roots. And once I finish this, I just need to figure out where to put all the grass roots. Hallo, was machst du da? Du sollst da nicht liegen, mein Schatz. Komm mal raus da. Mein kleiner Keks. Mein kleiner Keks. Ist das hier noch fertig oder sitzt du im Weg rum? I finished bed number 2 yesterday while being on the phone with my mom. Now I just need to get rid of all the grass root and finish bed number 3. Someone must have had a party at in that position, because I keep finding these little plastic confetti pieces. People, don't do that. Please don't do that. So while you watched my peas grow for 2 hours yesterday, I managed to finish bed number 3. I also added these little stepping stones so that I would be able to reach everything in the bed. There's also one tiny one here. And 2 here. I think this just adds to the whimsy feel. Maybe I will also get really annoyed with these beds. We will see. I already got some plants into the beds. This one I planted with Cucurbita maxima, so a squash. They are red Hokkaidos and blue banana. And at the back I direct seeded some more, which I hadn't had that much luck with, sowing them in little seed trays. So fingers crossed that they will actually come up here, because there are some varieties that I'm really looking forward to trying out. I added some beans here, the vulgaris type that you saw growing yesterday. They have gotten such a nice green color today. And I also added some sunflowers. Now this planting might remind you a bit of the Three Sisters, a very well-known polyculture, which consists of a pumpkin, squash or zucchini, so a cucurbita, the beans and the corn. But instead of corn in this bed, I sowed some sunflowers, which is a great alternative or addition to the Three Sisters. Here in the back, can you still see me? There are also some more beans directly sown, which still need to get a little support, but they were sown at a later date. I will be just waiting for them to come up before I give them a little teepee. Bed number 2 is also a version of the Three Sisters with quite a twist. This is, we have the normal beans in here. Once again, the vulgaris and the lunata, the lima beans, accompanied by sugar melon and cucumbers, different kind of cucumbers, which I want to cross. Oh, there is also different kind of sugar melon. They can all cross and hopefully one day become my little land race. There is no supporting structure in here right now. I will be adding that. It won't be corn. I don't have that. I sowed out quite a lot of corn, but it didn't all come up. So I will be adding trellises here. And bed number 3 is where I now have my corn. I planted this in the back because south is kind of where you are right now, so that the corn would be shading out too many other areas. I do want to add more pumpkin / squash in here, the moschata. I haven't had that much luck with sowing them out. I did a second run of sowing a few days ago. I hope that some of those will come up, that I can add them in here. I might also add a second or third or fourth round of beans in here, but for that the corn has to be about a foot, 30 centimeters tall, so that the bean won't overtake the corn and it can actually function as a structure. The back is still empty for the time being, but I'm sure that I will find something that I can put in this bed.
I will definitely keep you up to date about these beds and what's growing. I am planning monthly garden tours starting in June. And until then, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.